What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Come at you guys, well, with another market watch today. You know, I'd be lying to say if I have not been looking at this market and wanting to buy. It'd be a straight up lie. I'm not going to do that to you. What I'm going to tell you in this video, though, is that there's certain things I'm personally looking at. We'll talk about that in this video, as well as things I think you should be looking at. Because, yes, the market is uncertain, but one thing we know is certain card prices are still going to move. No doubt about it. Cards like Salamander, Starlight Wolf at Legendary Duelist, Soulburn, and Volcano does have a bunch of prints at Salamander, Starlight Wolf, but this is the highest rarity version, Ghost Rare. It was as low as $56. The current price of this card right now is about $65. This card is going to go way higher. The future, if you look at the OG list, any fire deck is running Salamander, Sunlight Wolf. Just period, straight up. That's number one. Number two, not only are they running this card, but it's been a staple in the OCG. And I think as we get our bans coming up soon in the TCG, and maybe I'll make a bans video, they always like, the problem with bans videos is I have an idea what I like to talk about, and then someone like bitches because they're playing X, Y, and Z deck and their butt hurt. But like, I think bans videos are a great way to have open discussion about what's going to happen. Once again, we'll talk about that in the future. But, you know, Salamander Silent Wolf is not going to be hitting the ban list. We know fire decks in general aren't going anywhere, okay? So Fire Kings are getting more support. Rescue Ace is getting more support. So if you're gambling on the meta, cards like Salamander Sunlight Wolf being used in both decks is a card you're going to want to need to get. Another card is SP Little Knight. So I like Max Rarity Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm a big fan of that. With that said, this card is beyond like reasonable pricing. What I mean by that is, when the card first debuted, it was roughly around $300. Nobody knew how important the card was going to be until it starts hitting prices of roughly around $500 a copy. The price of this card, by the way, even in the past month, has been increasing from $470 to where it is once again, roughly around $500. The QCR version of this card is a great card, but it's not worth buying at the moment. It's just not. I do think SP Little Knight will start calming down in value, will start going down more in value, and I would tell anyone that doesn't own this, that does want to get one of these, to wait. The price will not just keep rising up. Konami's going to do Konami things, and the price is going to be going down. Same goes for SP Little Knight Secret Rare. Now, this is unfortunately one of the best links in the game at the moment, so you need this card, right? The price was hitting almost near 120, roughly around 115. The current price in the market is roughly around 106. This card, unfortunately, is a card you're going to have to bite the bullet on. So, it's up to you. Like, if you make extra money, you can get the QCR, but it's a 5 times difference. And we're talking not like, you know, $1 to $5. It's 100 to 500. It's a huge difference. I will say SP Little Knight Secret Rare, I mean, to be honest with you, unless you're playing Rescue Ace, you just need one of these. You need to bite the bullet one time, and unfortunately, it's a big bullet. Same goes to other cards like Wanted Seeker, the Sinful Spoils. Another card that, once again, was roughly around $130. The current price is roughly around $200. TCG Player also had a huge sale, so it was a lot of incentive for players to buy these cards, meaning a lot of people got all these cards in one shot. Also meaning there's a chance a lot of these players are going to start unloading these cards. So that's why I'm saying like a lot of these prices will be going down inevitably. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course it always does, but I'm thinking more sooner than later because of that quick rush to everyone buying the card. There's going to be a quick dump when the next hype happens. With that said, obviously this is a great card. I think same thing goes with Bellstar. She has been calming down in value. She was hitting like 165 almost. The value now is about 142. So I think this is going to be calming down in value. But you know what's been going up in value? I'm not sure if anyone has talked about this yet. Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. This card was as low as $24. Currently, right now, in the market, it is $68. In the OCG, is starting to play this card. I'm a little stuffy. In the OCG, they're starting to play this card, and obviously seeing play. Even the secret version of the card, which was as low as $2, is up to $13. The market's moving really fast on a lot of these cards because the OCG is adopting this, and here in the TCG, we're seeing that, and players are reacting to that via the market. People always go to me to go, V, don't always talk about the OCG. Well, it's hard not to, because what happens when you look at the OCG is they'll use a card or two, and that card or two just being shown in those decks in the OCG will impact us here in the TCG. And that's what we're seeing with Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. This card's not seeing any meta play, but in OCG, yeah, it is. Maybe it might see some meta play, maybe, I don't know. Is it enough to warrant this crazy high price movement? Probably not. All right, 25th anniversary of Rarity collections are starting to cool down, finally. We are seeing some movement, though. Cards like Evenly Matched QCRs, they're roughly around 35s. you know, they had a quick spike to 41, so they're starting to come back down. They're roughly around 39 to 40, so they're starting to calm down, but still up there pretty crazily. Ash Blossom Joy Spring, the big chaser card of the set, pre-sale was like $350. The card now is roughly around about $165. And, I mean, it's not bad, but then again, it's because you still have big sale. Every card that's, like, highly wanted will show this massive spike around this time, and then start coming down as the TCG players' sale goes away. Once again, you got, I think it was like 10% store credit. It was insane. And then that's why when people ask me, V, why would you buy a $700 card? Because I get 10% store credit. Like, that's free money. So, for a lot of players, they also took advantage of this. One thing you see over here, Snake Eyes, you kind of see over here. You'll see it more or less with the QCRs, especially within the past month. You'll see it right here. Once again, past month, you'll see it right here. Well, this was already high up there, actually. SP Little Knight, you'll definitely see it. I mean, it was going to happen naturally, but once again, you see a huge spike, and this has to do with that. All right, so branded actually topped a couple of tops in the OCG, and it's my favorite version of branded. It's branded Despia, and I love branded Despia. The branded Chimera builds aren't bad. They're decent, but I feel like the problem with the branded Chimera builds is your opponent knows immediately what you want to do. With branded Despia is, your opponent can still know what you want to do, but you can still outplay a lot of what they can do. And the top decks have that skill. Rescue Waste, I would argue Flunderies, where your opponent's like, oh, I know exactly what you want to do. You're like, all right, cool, stop it. And if they can't, you just build your board, and you're like, well, good thing you knew what it does. That's what separates a lot. So when you get rogue decks, the idea is to know what they want to, learn what those decks do, because you get the advantage. And then you can beat them. With some of these other decks, like branded Despia, once again, you can know what I want to do, but there's nothing you can do about it unless you open everything. And we even seen this past weekend where I think the guy opened 3 or 4 hand traps, and the guy still got smoked. So I think when it comes down to Despia, it's one of those decks that are in a really unique position. With that said, what do you buy for Despias? So obviously, Guiding Quem is a card that I would highly recommend the Starlight Rare. The price did go up recently. It went from 142. It's roughly around 160. But if you want to go ahead and grab a Secret Rare Quem, and this is where it gets kind of crazy. The Secret price, which obviously did spike, is currently roughly around 60. So for an extra $100, you get Starlight Rare, which has better resale value. So this is one of those times where Secret Rare doesn't make sense to buy. The Starlight Rare does. Blazing Ortiz is a Virtuous. It got a bunch of reprints. It has been going down in value. You can even look at the past month. It's trying to stabilize. The card's roughly around 160 over here. I thought one sold, by the way. It goes starts hitting 170. Blazing Ortiz is definitely a great Starlight Rare to buy as well. If anyone else looking to play Despias. Renbum only has 1 printing. Once again, in the past month, it's just been up and down. The price really hasn't changed. It's always been around $6 to $7. $7 to $8, I should really say. So that's where that's going. Grand Guigano used to be $200 forever. This used to be a $200 staple. In the past month, it's still falling. The price is barely holding on to $100. It's $104, $105 right now. That's it. Like, this was the staple. I remember paying $200 for mines, and now the price point's barely $100. Wouldn't be surprised this card breaks sub $100. Then you got other cards like the Bystials. Obviously, Bystio Jerusalem is 14. It's the money one. But Bystio Bellion, any version, by the way, you can tell it's anything from $12 to as high as the QCR version, which obviously recently spiked to roughly around $229. So you got a bit of a gauntlet there as far as the prices for these Bystials. And then you have Albolenitis. Little fun fact. This is one of the things I really do in my videos, but I'm going to do it in this one. By the time you're watching this video, I already bought this card. Hold on. I already bought this card. And the reason why is because as a Starlight Rare, this card has no business being $40. Now, the reason why I think Albolenitis is such a good card for any kind of fusion-based deck, obviously that runs on Albaz, is simple. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game of dragons and spellcasters. It's always been, it's always going to be. Cards like Albolenitis is a contact fusion for fucking dragons. I wouldn't be surprised if Konami makes another Winitis, whatever it is, and say, oh, by the way, this is a spellcaster one. Like, this is insane. Must be either fusion summon or special summon by sending above cards from any monster into the graveyard. This card contact fuses. Attacks multiple times, and then at the end, if it's sent to the graveyard, you get a polymerization normal spell or 1 fusion normal spell from your deck to your hand. So this card absolutely is a house of a card. Obviously, once again, if you're looking to play branded Despia, this is probably the best card to get for your deck. It's dirt cheap right now. Nobody's looking right now. And what decks are running dragons besides Dragon Links? Well, Mana DMs love their dragons. In fact, a lot of decks that like to go fusion crazy, it wasn't this set. What set it was? Hold on a second. I think it's not Age of Overload, right? No shot. Okay. Whatever deck runs, I'm trying to remember the card. I think it was that Duelist Nexus. Whatever deck ideally runs Crimson Dragon, ideally runs other dragon cards that can be utilized, is my point. And I do think Avalantis is a card which, when it first came out, I thought it was trash because nobody played dragons. But now, this card can just win you a game just by opening full on an Albaz. Yeah, that's basically as far as I think this is a great card. Me personally, I'll let you know right now, a little side note, I have all these Yu-Gi-Oh decks. These are my 3 Pokemon decks. And then these are all Yu-Gi-Oh decks, like all these. Speedo's in here, by the way. Okay. The reason why I wanted to show you all that is because I've been playing Rescue Ace for a while, and I love Rescue Ace. It's one of my favorite decks in the game. But I also love Branded Despia. It's also one of my favorite decks in the game. And I might do more content on this channel showing you guys Branded Despia and Rescue Ace content moving forward. Probably more Branded Despia content, because one thing about Branded Despia that I like is and I asked a question to everybody on the community tab. Branded Despia is a great deck for new players, but it's also a great deck for skillful players. As we saw in the past, YCS is what people, or top events. I didn't win the event, but top event. And I do think Branded Despia, as time goes on, will be a deck on the back of everyone's mind because of what it still can do. I think a lot of players are going to be in a real world of hurt if they think that this is a deck you can sleep on. It's not. And a lot of people are going to quickly come to that realization. Hopefully we have more Despia decks topping. Like I said, I might be amongst them, but we'll see what happens in the future of this game. Paisanos, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos have a great day.